victory. That is her third shot into the par 5. She's in the company of Lee Daeyeon and last week's winner, Park Min-ji. And as you can see from your television screens there, the weather has not been too brilliant this afternoon. Scoring was excellent this morning with Hong Jung-min setting the pace at 6 under par. And that looks to be Park Ji-yeon. Cho Yeon-woo. Knifing one in from long range there. So it's a bit of a damp one this afternoon for the 37th Korea Women's Open here at the Robert Trent Jones Jr. designed Rainbow Hills Golf and Country Club. Once again, a very warm welcome to live day one coverage from this second major championship of the 2023 season. Fantastic golfing from Hong Jung-min this morning. She leads the way with a 66, just a pair of bogeys for her. Lee Ye-won looking to shake off the disappointment of her playoff loss last week at the Celtrion Queen's Masters to Park Min-ji. She sits one shot back after birdieing her final 3 holes to finish off at 5 under par. Here's the lady who was victorious 2 years ago, Park Min-ji, coming off her 17th career title last week at the Celtrion Queen's Masters. 2 to this point at the 7th. Just getting that one to creep up. Currently 1 over par is Min-ji alongside Lee Daeyeon and Lim Hee-jung, the winner in 2022. Lee Jung-min, 10 times a winner on tour. 1 under par, second shot into the 9th. Today's just in the back right section of the green. Despite all the precipitation that we've had over the last hour or so, the greens are still pretty firm and bouncy. Going to be interesting to keep an eye on that and see how that progresses throughout the course of the afternoon. Hee-jung has not been the best of starts to the year for the 22-year-old. Great pace there from Lim Hee-jung. Best finish in 2023. That was a 5th place at the Nexen St. Nine Masters back in April. Just a couple of cuts and withdrew from the Chilchon Honey Ladies Open as well. Hasn't had a stroke play top 10 since her 5th place at Gimhae Gaya. Venture out to the back 9 and the amateur Oh Soo-min. Oh, indeed. Brilliant there from Soo-min. 4 over par, still with an opportunity to get a shot back there. Has picked up a 3rd career major championship at Lakewood at the KLPGA Championship a couple months back. He's a former winner of the Korean Women's Open. Could join an illustrious list of players who have won this championship twice. Roll there. Daeyeon. He sits just outside the top 10 on the KLPGA points list through 8 starts this year. Park Min-ji, her victory last week at Seohae-won. Leapfrogged into the top 5 on the money list. Now sits 4th with 312 million won. That's back-to-back birdies for Park Min-ji. He's going to get back to even par for the championship after dropping a couple of shots early. up to the 9th. Park Bo-kyung. Looking awkward stance in the greenside bunker there, but gouges that one out nicely. 5 years of age. This year's Kyochon Honey Ladies Open. It's the cup and the first major of the year, the KLPGA Championship at Lakewood. Close 2 years ago. Last year in Lee Jung ran away with the crown. But that's a great birdie for Lee Ga-young. Going to take her back to even par. Very nicely holed indeed from Lee. Slow from this lower level. Give this one a good thump. So you really gave that a spank and it still come up a good 5 feet short. Not bad. Lee Jung-min. It's going to be a bit of a testy one to turn in 35. Remember, out in 36. Back in 36 as the featured group this afternoon makes their way to the par 4-8. It stretches out 314 meters. Gently doglegs from left to right. Needless to say, left side isn't brilliant. You have a little bit of room, right, but you don't want to go venturing too far, or you could be blocked out by some trees for your second shot. That does play slightly uphill to this elevated green. Players must avoid this one fairway bunker on the right-hand side, and you really want to keep it the short stuff. This wet Bermuda rough is not going to be fun to play out of today. The pin on 8, though, today in a relatively benign spot in the front section of the green. 5 from the front and just 8 from the right. As far as birdie holes go, this is a pretty decent opportunity towards the end of the front 9. Minji able to start it just on the inside of that fairway bunker and turn a little drawback. She's just pulled that and up into some of that heavy rough, and you can just about see the top of the ball, so that can't be too bad, but controlling distance and spin out of this wet rough is not going to be an easy task. Dion averages just over 72% of her fairways. Every time we talk about the women's game, particularly here in South Korea, they're all very accurate drivers of the golf ball. 72% fairway hit rate leaves you in 61st in that category.
Push up.
Drop that one down to a fairway hit. Mentioned that slow start to the season. Really been able to find that magic spark in her game. She's seen what a little confidence can do. A trace of it in Park Min-ji's performance last week, and certainly she's come back to a place that holds a lot of fond memories for her. Hopefully, she'll have it all lined up in time and put together a successful defense of her title. Now, Osu Min, after the excellent tee shot at 11, this would take the amateur back to 3 over par. Min. Just watch this putting stroke from Miss Wade. She's always had that claw grip. She's got a little stutter step right when it changes direction. Certainly not a conventional or a comfortable looking putting stroke, but it's one that has served Lee Jung-min well. Has yet to miss a cut this year. Brilliant little shot from an awkward spot at 9s. After this, a 5-footer to turn in 1 over par. Yeah, great up and down for Park Bo-kyung. Currently leads both the money list and the points list PGA Tour. Some shadows on the greens indicate that the sun is breaking through the clouds, normally a good sign. Hopefully, this is start of a bit of a comeback for Ji Young. Yeah, nicely holed. A bit of a rough start to her opening round. Double bogey at 2. Sprinkled in a couple of birdies, and she of all people knows this is a marathon, not a sprint. So she's going to get back to 2 over par. She's playing alongside Kim Min Byul, who's part of a stellar rookie class of 2023. Bang Shin Sil currently leads that points race with a 68 this morning. Min Byul, chance to get into red figures herself.
Nice.
Just sweeps that in the left edge. Well done. So the good news is, well, the rain has stopped. For now, anyway, at Rainbow Hills. And Hong Jung-min's name still sits atop the leaderboard after her stellar opening round of 66 here on day 1 at the 37th playing of the Korea Women's Open. Well below her feet, and she's working off a slight downhill lie for Minji. This is going to come in low and running. Ooh, unfortunately for Minji, it's going to run into the inside bunker. So that just shows you get slightly out of position off the tee. And what is normally a very gentle hole, you could find yourself scrambling for par. No such problems though for your defending champion, who has split the fairway with her tee shot. These are the kind of chances you have to take at Rainbow Hills. Perfect lie, good yardage, accessible pin. Safety first, well past it, but keeps it on the green, does Lim Hee-jung. Dion. Just a few yards yards closer than her 22-year-old playing competitor. That sounded a bit clunky, and you're not going to see that every day. Goodness me. Quick 30 yards short of the green. It happens to the best of them, unfortunately. Yeah, Jung Yoon-ji has been enjoying a wonderful run of form over the last couple of weeks. It's one shot out of the playoff last week at the Celtry on Queens, and she is showing absolutely no signs of slowing down. She shot 64 3 times this season on the PGA Tour. No stranger to making birdies in bunches. Yoon Jin-hee left rough on 9. Not sure how the lie is, but you want to make sure you get this all the way to that back level of the green. Get it up there, she does. That is stellar from Yoon Jin-hee. Brilliant shot there from this year's NH Ladies Champion. Well, the weather is much improved, and Hong Jung-min still leads the way after a spectacular opening round of 66 this morning. Enjoys a one-shot cushion over last year's Rookie of the Year, Lee Air-won, here in the opening round at Rainbow Hills. Short-sided here for Park Min-ji. Pretty deep trap this one. The lie's okay. She's working off a slight uphill lie as well, which should help. Not too bad. Maybe that mistake on 8 was with the tee shot, finding that left rough. Didn't we see Park Bo-kyom in a similar spot a little earlier? Choi Eun-woo just in that grass face of the greenside trap on 9. Bo-kyom escaped with the par. Choi Eun-woo out of the sand and into the bottom of the cup. Could do better than get up and down for par. That's up and in for a 3. That old adage, no pictures on the scorecard. That's a blemish-free outward half of 34. Choi Eun-woo. Picked up her first ever career win at the Mediheal Championship a couple weeks back. Daeyeon, tougher shot after a straight-up chunk. It was usually the one after that. It's her third shot now to this short-sided pin on 8. Only got 5 paces of green to work with. Oh, that is a touch of class from Lee Daeyeon. Super little recovery after a real head-scratcher. Bae So-hyun out at the 10th. Also another player who played very nicely last week at the Legends course at Seonghil 1. Just to get to 2 under par, not going to stay up for Bae. Good solid top 10 finish for her last week. She had it within 1 of the lead right around the 12th hole and just sort of slowly leaked oil coming back to the clubhouse. Yoonji. So that terrific third shot. It's got this to get to 3 under. She has got the best round working of the afternoon wave right now. Jung Yoon-ji just on the fringes of the top 5. Hee-jung slightly down the hill. Just come up a little bit right around the gut, but it should want to creep a little bit left for her. Certainly had the line. It's a very exciting time in Korean women's golf. Certainly a great golf season. Korea Women's Open this week at Rainbow Hills. Next week it's the Korea Open. The men will have their crack at formidable Jong Hills. I'm going to be on site for that one. Should be a real cracking test in the Asian Tour as Min-kyu Kim defends his title that he won in a brilliant 3-hole playoff against Min-yu Cho last year. Open championship spots at Royal Liverpool up for grabs as well. Im Jun-hee makes a birdie there at 9 to turn in 35. Coincidentally, just got a text from my broadcast partner next week. 3-time Asian Tour champion, former European Tour winner, Anthony Kang, who's enjoying the coverage from somewhere in the world. So a warm welcome, Kangster, and wherever in the world you're watching, we trust you're enjoying the coverage here on day 1. Just outside of Song County. That's a brilliant pass save for Park Min-ji. Don't want to give back a shot after working so hard to get back to even par. Nice sandy save for Min-ji. Keeps her level. It's a pretty good save as well for Daeyeon. Flopped that second shot. There's only 90 meters left. This one drops, no harm, no foul. She will not emerge from 8 unscathed. Drop a bucket of balls where she played her second shot from. You would see her hit that shot again. Struggling to get any the kind of momentum going early doors here. Lee Jae-yeon. Now, Min Byul. Top 10 finishes in the first 3 starts of the year.
Cut.
He's asking for it to cut. I don't think it's going to. That's just on the wrong level of the green. Let's have a look at this par 4 ninth, the finishing hole on the outward stretch at Rainbow Hills. 374 meters long on the scorecard, but it plays a shade shorter than that with that elevated tee box. These bunkers left and right here really do pinch into the landing zone, so players will have to do their level best to avoid them. Most of the field going to be coming in with mid to long irons, especially in slightly damper conditions like today. Bigger hitters do have to worry about that little cart path that cuts across the fairway. And you certainly don't want to be left here at this par 4. Lots of thick trees and foliage guarding the port side of this par 4. The green, well, it's a bit of a split level situation. That bunker on the right has seen a lot of action here on day one. That pin cut on the upper shelf, 26 from the front and just 7 from the right. Absolutely imperative to find that top level of the green if you want to leave yourself a makeable look at 3. ENG. Starting to build a little momentum.
Oh.
It's much better. Right to the edge of the fairway. Well done. ENG. The 11th. The alternators 4 from the left edge. She continues to throw absolute darts out there, Jung Yoon-ji. It's just an air of confidence about her golf game, particularly over the last fortnight. She has looked very, very solid indeed. Hee Jung, right around the same distance as Park Min-ji off the tee. So shouldn't have to worry about bouncing through the fairway. She has to worry about leaving that club face open. She have to come over all of that inside bunker if she wants to go at this pin. Now Dion, longest hitter of the 3 in this featured group. It's just going to have to be a little sort of chippy driver for Dion. Unfortunately, that one's going to go scampering through the fairway for Lee. Putts from lower levels, particularly when you're quite close to a slope like Kim Min-byul finds herself here on 9. There's a tendency to want to overhit it as you feel like you need to give it enough oomph to get it up to that top level. So important. Putts like these, all about the pace. Just a little strong there, but that's fine. Problems. To 10. Get off that slope nicely. To get to 4 under par. she's got it. Oh my goodness, the hole is the size of a bucket right now for Jung Yoon-ji. It's back-to-back birdies to start the inward trek. She'll get into a share of third. Park Ji-young, she's made that very nice birdie back on the 8th. First event of this new season. Started last year in Singapore at the Singapore Women's Open, rain shortened 36-hole championship at Tanamera Country Club's Tampines course. A little foam go off in the gallery, so just taking a step back. It's for par to 2 over. Do too much this putt, if anything. Gotta feel maybe just inside right. Don't want to start it outside the hole from this range, that's for sure. Yeah, well done. Bae So-hyun. Her birdie at 11. Lovely tee shot in here. And just like Jung Yoon-ji, Bae So-hyun is going to find a deuce at the par 3. Drop shot of the day coming back at the par 5 7th as we return to Kim Min-byul. Her 2-putt par at the 9th. Open at Bears Best in Cheongna 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately a 76 in the final round of last week's Celltrion Queen's Masters left her in a share of 60th. Back down the fairway and catch up with this afternoon's featured group. Jung. Slightly above her feet with the hybrid out of this rough. An easy shot. Start a little left. Is just going to hang on. She'll take anything on the dance floor right now, but she doesn't want to see that. Oh, caught the flyer light. Turned it over. And has that just stayed out of the shrubbery? If it's not in amongst the trees, it's not a terribly difficult third shot, but we'll have to see when she gets up there. Now, Minji, great spot here, middle of the fairway. Can be aggressive if she wants. Be aggressive, she will. Look at this shot from Park Min-ji. That's a kick-in birdie. And she's going to turn in 35, much to the delight of the Park Min-ji gallery. That's an early contender for shot of the week. Brilliant. Dayon doesn't really want to challenge the pin like Minji did. Just take it towards the TV tower at the back of the green. Chase up and will it stay on the top level? I think it will. It's pretty good. Another look at this one from Park Min-ji. Excellent tee shot right to the far edge of the fairway. Took dead aim at this. Almost an eagle too. She'll take a 3 though. She'll take a 3 all day long. What a difference a week makes. Struggling with her confidence through the early part of the season. Emphatic playoff victory last week over Lee Ye-won, and Park Min-ji looks to be back to her best. She looks for a second Korea Women's Open title. Jung-min started the back nine, turned in 1 under par. Downhill right to lefter to get to 2 under. Gave that one a little bit too much respect, but 10's just one of those par 5s where you're not going to be too disappointed with the par. Demanding hole, claustrophobic almost. Trouble all the way up the left and right, sneaks around a bit of a canyon. You have to hit 3 excellent shots to leave yourself any sort of birdie opportunity. Though having said that, this is a pretty good look. This is actually for bogey. We're getting word that Yu Seo-yeon didn't lose her second shot into some trouble. Well, that's going to be a double bogey. Not going to make Yu Seo-yeon's day any better. She now falls to 4 over par. Go on, Min-ji, tap it in, why don't you? 3 birdies in her last 4 holes. Park Min-ji is going to get into red figures for the first time this week. Where's that second shot ended up for Lim Hee-jung? She doesn't look too phased by it, but again, anyone who's watched this game enough will know that not too much phases Lim Hee-jung. Venturing quite deep down into those bushes, but appears to have a clean swing at it, a clean slash at it, and that's all you need. What she has working in her favor is she's got the entire breadth of the green to deal with. Because the only question is the lie good enough where she can elevate it onto the top level, or she had to chase it up? Suppose that shot's going to give you an indication. It's okay, but she's making a bit of a mess here. Lim Hee-jung. Im Jin-hee. 2 good shots to this point. Really underrated as a wedge player. It's a very Zach Johnson-esque swing. So it really rotates the body very hard. Holds that club face open. Always has that abbreviated follow-through. A bit unlucky that didn't grab a touch harder. That's fine. Outside birdie look. Dion. Good clever shot coming out of that rough. She's left herself on the correct tier with this little right to left to get back to even par. Great effort, just peels off low. 1 over par to the turn for Dion. Sokyo Rim, the amateur in this group. 3rd shot now to the 10th. Going alongside Im Jin-hee. Sticking it inside of Im Jin-hee as well. Great distance control there from So. Hee-jung for her par just from the back fringe at 9. drop shot, and like Lee Dayan, she's turning 37. And after that spectacular end to her front nine, it's going to continue to go straight at it. That's excellent from Choi. Wave have all made the turn this afternoon at Rainbow Hills in the opening round of the Korea Women's Open. Some fantastic playing from Jung Yoon-ji. Now leaves her just 2 off Hong Jung-min's lead. She's won a title in every single of her last 3 seasons on the KGA Tour. But a major championship still eludes Im Jin-hee. Had a couple of top 10s, but has never really been in the mix late on Sunday. It's only a different kettle of fish. Particularly at a national championship like the Korea Women's Open. She'll start her back 9 with the par 5. Front area of the green and keep releasing. A journey of 1,000 steps begins with just a single step, and well, that's going to be to get her back to 5 over par. Now Sokyo Rim to get back to 1 over. Yeah, very nice birdie there, looking to do what former Korean Korean national team player Hwang Yo-min did back in 2021. Recorded top 5 finish at the Korea Women's Open. Actually, Hwang Yo-min, who's now a professional, played the final group all weekend long with Park Min-ji. Pace of Yun, that's excellent, into 12. Choi Yun-woo for back-to-back birdies round the turn to get to 3 under. Yeah, well done. A couple of good birdies there from Saw and Choi. big pond on the left-hand side. It's definitely a forced carry, but if you bail too far out to the right, there's a lot of trouble. Trees, a canyon, nasty rough. Second shots are not much easier, but certainly has to be playing that out of the fairway. Park Min-ji knows that well. She'll have the honour after that walk-off birdie to end her front nine. Tee shot much sets up for a draw, which is Min-ji's stop shot. Is nigh on perfect for Park Min-ji. These fairways are drawing out quite nicely. That's got a ton of roll and almost going to catch that downslope as well. Looks like she's just got a 3-wood out, and that's the smart play for her. Her driver lands, the fairway just tightens up a fraction. Certainly no advantage in hitting driver. Pretty much everyone in the field's playing this as a 3-shotter. Thinker around the golf course. He's a 3-time major champion. Tugs it a fraction, and that's rolled up all the way to the far side of that fairway bunker. Still be okay. She would as well for Hee-jong. Found the winner 12 months ago. She sets off the back nine this Thursday afternoon to start her title defense at Rainbow Hills. You saw yours and some tee shots close into this 11th. It's an 8-iron for you. It's going to come round, is it? Very nicely done. He's at 10, 11, this one. 12 to get within 1. Behind Hong Jung-min. First look of the day at Lee So-mi, 5-time tour winner. A hang line into 10. Do have a bit of a mound in the front left of the green that does kick everything right. It's pretty good. Swing in this, it's at least a cup outside the right with dying pace. Very nicely held. Center cup for Bae So-hyun. She's going to get to 3 under par. Some back-to-back birdies there. Siwoo. Much straighter putt than So Hyun's. Similar result.
있긴 저런 더 버디네. 나이스.
Appears to have been quite adventurous path up the par 5 10th so far for Kim Min-byul. She's avoided the thick hedges to the left-hand side. And the issue now is that ball is well below her feet. Had to take an unplayable lie. Unplayable drop, I should say. So playing 4 now is Min-byul. Is that going to release on? Oh, it is. Not too bad. Now there's a chance. It just illustrates what a demanding par 5 it is. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely claustrophobic for the best in the game, and even the members at Rainbow Hills have to play this par 5 every weekend. Cannot lose your concentration at any point up this demanding 495-meter hole. Now Hee-jung. Left side of the fairway does kick a little right, but you miss that section, and well, you could be where Kim Min-byul found herself. That's fine for Hee-jung. Daeyeon. I think the second shot's scary. Try playing it out of this fairway bunker. She's far enough back from the far lip, and she feels she can get this rescue club over it. Probably a good thing there was a bit of rain earlier. It's really compacted the sand in. So it makes this second slightly easier, playing off a firmer base. Look, it started a little left. Oh. It's gone off the cart path, and oh no, activate the search party. There could be some problems for Daeyeon. Not really what Park Min-ji wanted to see before playing her second shot. Did catch that downslope, so got some extra run. It does afford her the luxury of laying up with just a long iron now, and going that tee shot well down the fairway. So Min-ji's lines were just to the left of that golf cart in the distance. Certainly the widest portion of the fairway to be laying up into. Good clever shot there, a little hooded drop up the left half of the fairway. So Min-ji and Hee-jung with no real trouble on 10. Lee Daeyeon, can't say the same for her. Soyeon to get back to 3 over. Yeah, well done. Evan's playing rather simple, it seems, so far today. Seen a ton of birdies on it. That's a much needed one after that double bogey to start the back 9. For Yu So-yeon too. Now Min-byul for her par back at 10. Hung that one out to dry. Never really had it on the right line at all. He a pin on the left-hand side of the green. You know, she's licking her chops. you. What's that? 3.5 feet away. Lisa only went to this arm lock putter just under a month ago. And has taken to it quite quickly. See if it works its magic here on 10. Just needed a little bit more pace. Well, that's Park Min-ji and Lim Hee-jong, but where is Lee Daeyeon, the third player in the group? Second shot into the trouble on the left. Still no sign of Daeyeon. Not the tallest player in the field. Hopefully we don't lose her in the shrubbery as Kim Min-byul looks to just drop the one. So me, one of those players who you feel her game sets up so well for major championships. Real grinder, good ball striker, yet to have pinched a big one. There are 5 on the KLPGA Tour. KLPGA Championship, Korea Women's Open, the Hanwha Classic, KB Financial Group Star Championship, where Lim Hee-jong got her first ever victory in her rookie season, and of course the Jinro Championship that Park Min-ji bagged back in 2021. Used to a lot of hanging lies.
자, 먼저
This
플레이하겠습니다.
back nine, Rainbow
앞에
Hills,
이동 좀
plenty of
멈출게요.
slope and contours in the fairways here. Ball slightly below her feet, but she's working off a slight uphill lie as well. Good news about this front pin on 10 is you can start at the front left edge of the green, and even if it stays straight, it should kick on towards this pin. Yeah, spot on distance control there from Lim. Choi Eun-woo to join Jung Yoon-ji with the low round of the afternoon wave. Oh, it looked like it was considering sneaking right, but it just stays up, and Choi Eun-woo, 3 birdies in a row, joins the group at 4 under par. Take your eye off Im Jin-hee, but she didn't look at all like winning the championship at Suwon Country Club at the NH Ladies Championship, but she was there to collect after Bang Shin-sil's struggles on the penultimate hole that Sunday. She knows all you need is just to be there or thereabouts on Sunday, and anything can happen.
나이스 버디.
That is another birdie on 11. They are eating up this left hole location today, I tell you that. Now Min-ji, similar line to Hee-jong, trying to drive a low trapper in. Yeah, pretty good, nice and tidy from the last 2 Korea Women's Open champions. Where has the ball of Lee Daeyeon ended up on 10? Well, we know where it is, but is it playable? It's the million-dollar question. Surely she's taken an unplayable drop, because I mean her ball was well and truly into that deep bit of foliage, just trying to work out where's the best spot to take a drop now. So she will be playing 4. Certainly not in a hurry, as Lee Daeyeon.
여기다 해도 되나요?
ace it now after dropping it twice.
76 핀까지.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Back in play now.
76이요?
응,
근데
76.
이게
그거 괜찮아?
안 될 것 같아요. 이게
그러니까.
탑이 다 안 나와서.
Fourth shot. Taking an unplayable line. This is going to come out pretty low and hot. I just don't see how she's going to get this to the green. Just clearly trying to chop this one back out to the fairway. It's about damage limitation when you venture off the straight and narrow at Rainbow Hills, particularly here on 10. If you're not careful or you're too greedy, you could very easily rack up a number. Oh, my goodness, what a golf shot from Lee Dayon. And here I was thinking she'd just have to chip that one back into play. She's got a chance to save par. Let's see if that birdie back at 12 can start sending Chung Si Woo in the right direction. Second shot down the hill now to 13. Pin just 5 from the right edge of this green. Does tilt a little from right to left. That's another fine iron shot from Chung Si Woo. That was a couple of moments ago. Now Jung Yun Ji. It's an excellent shot. Pales in comparison to her partners, but Jung Yun Ji starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together. What a story the Jung Yun Ji victory here would be this week. Now Jung Min to 12.
오, 나이스.
Very nice shot indeed. Great spin and distance control from Lee Jung-min. There's a third place finish here a couple of years back when Min Ji won. Now, Kim Min Byul. Stick one in close, why don't you, Min Byul? Using the far right side of the tee box just to give herself the maximum angle to this back left pin. Oh, gosh darn, nearly rolled that one in for an ace. Now Minji. Good leave here, just underneath the hole, putting up the hill. Should want to move just a little right at the cup. I wish the galleries got that excited when I made pars when I was playing. Certainly vocal out here in South Korea, I'll give them that. Now, if they yelled that loudly for Park Min-ji's par, they should go absolutely bananas if this one goes for Lee Dayon. This would be not only a nice par, this would be a stunning par after that wayward second. A lot of players overread this putt, doesn't break as much as they think. Yeah, another player just seeing break that isn't there. Unfortunately, little misstep with that second shot. It's going to cost Lee Dayon another bogey. Not quite as close as her two playing partners at 13. Bae So Hyun is for par. Up and over that little shoulder, then everything starts collecting down towards the cup. So she's going to fall back to 2 under par. Hee-jung a little bit further up the green than Minji, so this should be a slightly straighter looking putt. Very nicely done for Lim Hee-jung, who balances the books with the second birdie of her afternoon. Jung Yoon-ji to join Lee Ye-won at 5 under and just sit one behind Hong Jung-min. Squanders a great opportunity there. So Dayan now fall back to 2 over par. Chung Si-woo is going to start stringing them together. It's a second birdie in a row, taking her to 4 over. Remember, low 60 in ties. Going to make the halfway cut at the end of play tomorrow evening. Jumped in after that wonderful wedge shot. Still got to convert. And convert she does. So up to 2 under par. That was the 10-time tour champion. Kim Min-pyo looking to bounce back after the drop shot at 10. This is a downhill look for birdie at 11. I never looked. That was high enough. First cut of rough at the 12th, but only 52 meters in. We'll have to allow for a touch of release here. Tell you what, she can put some spin on the golf ball. Goodness me, that one backed up on her. Like I said earlier, probably the most underrated wedge player in the Korean women's game. Great pair of hands on Im Jin-hee. So you have to say is a very scoreable 11th today. Lim Hee-jung with the honour. So in this section of the golf course, we can start to build a little momentum. Once you get through 10, particularly with where the pin is on 11 today, then you get to that downhill 12th and then 13. Pretty soft hole location. You turn back uphill 14. It's a good chance to peel off 2, maybe even 3 birdies before you start to get to the tricky section of 15, 16. So this is where players like Hee-jung and Minji, of course Lee Dayan as well, have to start making their moves. And the 6 under par leads right now. And right on cue. Another beautiful tee shot there into the 11th, this time from Lim Hee-jung. I think this would be a soft 7 or just a little back foot 8 for the 2021 champion. One hand off the club. What a horrible shot. Goodness me, Minji. You gotta be kinder to yourself. That's perfectly acceptable. Choi and Woo at 12 down the hill to move to 5 under. For 4 in a row. Oh! Just slips by the front edge of the cup. Unlucky. It was a great effort there for Choi. Just pointing to a spot there. See if she needs to start this ball. So Woo's putt really snap at the cup, just as it lost pace. So still will have to start this outside left edge as she was pointing, but she's going to have to be committed to this one, speed-wise. After that very tidy wedge shot, it's a great opportunity to collect yet another birdie here on Thursday afternoon for Im Jin-hee.
Nice birdie.
Well worked out and well holed. Im Jin-hee to 3 under. Downhill into the 13th for Lee Jung-min. And a miss left. It's water all the way there, and it's just going to stay on the top tier for Lee Jung-min. It has turned into a lovely Thursday afternoon here at Rainbow Hills, and that 4 under par mark is getting awfully crowded. Jung Yoon-ji and Choi Yeon-woo putting together some fantastic golf this afternoon, but Hong Ji won with a birdie on 13, now gets to 5 under and moves within 1 of our current leader, Hong Jung-min. Feet up in the clubhouse after an excellent opening round this morning of 66. Possibly the worst tee shot we've seen in 211 so far in this opening round. Afternoon coverage from Lee Dayon, just off the left-hand side of the green. It's an awkward-ish sort of pitch. We'll have to land this in the fringe shot and just sort of trundle this onto the green. But even she can find a birdie at 11 from off the green. Now you're just showing off, Dayon. It's a much-needed birdie for Dayon. So recovers one of the 2 shots she's dropped today to a share of 60th. Minji. Very good look for a birdie, just outside of 15 feet. Should want to go a little left in the last 3 or 4 feet. Well read, and she's walked in nicely to get to 2 under par. Creeping up the leaderboard as she so often does after that rocky start. It's business as usual for the lady who's won the money list the last 2 years. Lee Jong-min for her birdie at 13. No, not to be. So, 2 birdies already on 11. Closest off the tee as this to get to red figures. Not going to be a hat trick of 2s at the 11th as Hee Jong's birdie putt just misses low. Lee So-mi at 12. Left first cutter rough, but a nice angle to this right pin. Expect this one to be pretty close most of the time. Just got a very big first bounce. A little unlucky there for Lee So-mi. He's now fallen back to 2 over par after dropping a shot at 11. Apply a little bit more spin on this, coming out of the fairway for Park Ji-young, who's also at 2 over. That's the difference between coming out of the rough and the fairway. Just get a little bit more of that ball caught on the grooves, can put a little bit more spin on it. Fine shot there from Ji-young. Most iconic tee boxes that you're going to see all year on the KLPGA Tour. This tee box carved into the side of that little mound, the mini mountain, where we find the 12th tee here at Rainbow Hills. And the ball spends a lot of time in the air. It's a pseudo island fairway, but it's a fairly wide target when you get down to it. Nicer than starting a ball bang on line off an elevated tee like that. You just get to admire it in its full flight as it sails towards the fairway. Dayon next to go. Try and hug the left side of this fairway if you can. It's just going to catch a piece of the right edge of the fairway. No problems for Dayon. Has to go. Greenside bunker is the target line. Yep, 3 balls safely in play. This beautiful, iconic par 4 12. So they'll hop in the golf carts and get a little ride down the hill. Every time we come back to Rainbow Hills and I see that cart drive down the side of 12, can't help but think of the name of the exact street escapes me, but it's the one in San Francisco. The bendiest, the curviest road in the world. Well, they traverse the track down the side of the hill. We got to the green and Lee So-mi's lengthy birdie look. Turn its indicators left on about 2/3 of the way there. Goes in a bit of a gully on that right-hand side of the green. Not too bad for line, just shy on a touch of pace. So he remains 2 over.
내리막
Choi Yen-woo looking to attack this left pin on 13. Seen a couple stuck close already. Softer greens certainly have made these shots a little bit easier. And right on cue. Choi Yen-woo sticks that to about 10 feet. Very nice shot indeed. How much this breaks just in the last 6 feet or so. Really overread from Kim Min-pyo. It's her first track round Rainbow Hills, being a rookie on the KLPJ Tour, so very much a learning process for the 19-year-old. Will keep Kim Min-pyo level for the championship. Quite the tally in this featured group today. 29 combined KLPGA Tour wins, 7 majors. Making up about 60% of that win count with her 17 KLPGA Tour titles, most recent of which coming last Sunday. First to go. It's going to be a bit of a hanging lie for Hee-jung with the ball a touch below her feet, but you don't really mind it too much to these right pins, especially with that little slope, a pin high left that can feed the ball down if it's coming in with a bit of cut spin. Yeah, should catch that slope. Just Start feeding, start feeding. Yeah, good clever shot there from Lim Hee-jong. Dion, bit of a flatter line. The ball looks to be sitting up okay for her. Still, you want to look just to the left or right at where Hee-jung's ball has come to rest. It's a start line. Only 65 meters left, but you don't need to bite off more than you can chew here. Good safe and smart shot for Dion to the heart of the green. To dance this one around the pin. He carries that a little bit long by the looks of things. Just got the yardage off there, ENG, but still with a birdie look. Just tell you what, we do love our drone shots here on this par 4 12. Great overhead view of the shape and contour of this par 4 green. How things shape up at the top of the board. It's still Hong Jung-min, last year's match play champion, who leads the way. An opening round of 66 that included 8 birdies. Hong Ji-won with another birdie has moved up into a share of second with rookie sensation of seasons past, Lee Ye-won. So Young, Ga-eun, Yoon-ji and Eun-woo all sit at 4 under par, including the amateur Kim Min-sol, who counted a brilliant round of 68 earlier this morning. This would be a pretty slick putt for Lee Dion from the top side of the pin on 12, but the rain that we had for about 90 minutes earlier on should help make this a little bit more manageable. It still gives that just a touch too much respect. Some misadventures on 13, Im Jin Hee. Coming off a couple of birdies, this to avoid dropping a shot and stalling that momentum at 13. Gonna move from her right. And unfortunately, doesn't find its target. She's going to give up a shot, slip back to 2 under. Minji, haven't seen too many putts from the right edge of the green on 12, but nonetheless here we are. Bit of right to left. To 3 under. Looks very good for a long, long way. Like Dion, you do no better than a 4. Lee Jong certainly with the best look of the 3 here. That one slipped by back at the 11th. She's not going to let one slip by at 12. A delightful curling birdie putt for Lim Hee Jong is going to take her into red figures for the first time this championship. As Choi Eun-woo, her sights set on a share of 2nd place. Just be a ball outside the left to get to 5 under par. Oh. Couldn't quite force it in with pace, so she's going to stay at 4 under like Jong Eun-ji. Birdies have dried up a little bit the last half hour for Eun-woo. Min-ji brushes that one in to remain at 1 under. Beautiful Lincoln Aviator black label SUV up for grabs for the first player to make a hole-in-one here. Courtesy of our partners and friends at Sunin Motors. Sticking up that lovely vehicle as a hole-in-one prize. G1 is now your championship co-leader after birdieing the par 5 16th. Draws level with Hong Jung-min. He's been today on the 17th, just in the front right section of the green, guarded by that greenside trap. Anything past pin high left, pretty pleased with that. That she's in, she's just taking it straight at it. Excellent tee shot, and she'll have that for the outright lead in a couple of moments' time. So we return to 13, and Kim Min Byul's second shot from the top of the hill. What a second shot it is. Beautifully played. Excellent distance control. Somi. Slightly flatter lie than Min Byul's, but still coming downhill. Good shots into the par 4 30th for Lee So-mi and Kim Min Byul. Jung Yun-ji. Second shot from 128 into this 15th. And just 5 from the left edge today in the front section. It's going to spit back off that severe back slope, and well, it's going to be an interesting two-putt that Jung Yun-ji has left herself, but Hong Jung-min has company at the top of the leaderboard. Hong Ji-won's birdie at 16 now moves her to 6 under par alongside Jung-min for the lead here in the opening round of the Korea Women's Open. This is going to just about skirt the fall line of this green. So it's going to be slightly downhill and should want to go a little left for So-mi. It's tricky to read putts when you're putting sort of along a proverbial knife's edge. Jong on the last. He's had a bit of a poor opening round at 6 over par. She'll play a nice shot into 18 and we'll have that for a 77. Break Kim Min Byul is allowing for here. We've seen her overread a couple of putts today. And it was a curious stroke there. Sort of shoved that back towards the hole. It's not been her strongest putting performance this Thursday. Coming up the hill for a second to 14. Good angle to this right pin. That's a pretty good shot in. Take Bae So-hyun's third shot over Jung Yun-ji's putt because it doesn't have a big slope to deal with. Much less break in this, and the lie's okay. Park Ji-young for her part. shot was just on the front level of the greens. Rolled one up to here. And she'll roll that one in to remain 2 over the card. ENG from this middle section of a very slopey 15th green should go right to left to start, then flatten out when he gets to the hole. So coming slightly downhill. Start to come back the other way. And she's read that very nicely. She was disappointed missing the cut in defense of a E1 Charity Ladies Open title. And a weekend off to refocus her mind, work on some things, and a pair of top 5 finishes since. Left her in a very good place mentally as we go up to 17 and Hong Ji-won for the outright lead. This one will move right around a cup from left to right. Oh, how does that move left at the cup? Goodness. Looked in all the way, but it's only going to be a par. Now Minji. Slightly above her feet, which should aid her trying to turn a little draw to this left pin on 13. Steady, steady, steady. Oh, got away there. It's just nestled up against that secondary cut, so going to be a bit of an awkward third for Minji. Again, it's an accessible pin today. You don't want to be overly exuberant in trying to go flag hunting. It's pretty good, should just stay up. Yeah, well done. She has for most of the day. Lee Dayan going to be last to go. I think it's one of the great classic swings of the KLPGA Tour. So very stable, very much swings around her spine. Great angles she creates. Really good tempo as well. You put all that together, and you can hit some stellar golf shots. That is absolute quality from Lee Dayan. She's going to get it back to even par. Just a couple of moments. Just have a look at the control on this. Flat lie, full number, bang on. It's been a difficult day, but at least has this to hopefully end on a high note. And end on a high note she will. It's a birdie at the last, but when she tots it all up, it's going to be a rather disappointing round of 77. Bae So-hyun for her par at 15. Easily the slopiest green on the golf course, this 15th at Rainbow Hills. Okay, good tidy 4 there for Bae. after the excellent second shot, is going to get herself back to even par. Seventh playing of the National Open here in Korea. And next week the men will have their crack at Wujong Hills for the Kolon Korea Open, where Min-kyu Kim defends, and a couple of Open Championship spots at Royal Liverpool on the line as well. Now Park Min-ji, bit of a tricky one here, very unpredictable how that ball's going to come out, with nestled up against the collar of rough. Got to play it with some conviction and speed, and that's pretty much textbook from Park. No player has won more tournaments in the last 24 months than Park Min-ji. A dozen over the last 2 years, and wrapped up another one last week for her 17th career title. The most dominant force in the ladies' game in South Korea since the return from the pandemic, Park Min-ji. Hee-jung quietly plodded along and put together a very tidy round so far. This would make it even better. A birdie look here. Is it going to come back? Oh, just stays high. Quite the blistering pace she set last year, winning this championship with a scoring record of 19 under par. But she knows anything in the red on day one is a pretty good way to start your campaign. So Hong Ji-won playing the 18th has a chance to take the solo lead away from Hong Jung-min, who has had a lot of time to kick back and relax after signing for a wonderful round of 66 earlier this morning. So we're just eking towards 6 p.m. local time here in South Korea as day one action rolls on from Rainbow Hills. Hong Ji-won playing the 18th hole right now. Currently tied with Hong Jong-min, who carded a 66 earlier this morning. This is Park Ji-young in her second shot to the uphill 14th. Current leader of the money list and the points list, struggling along today at 2 over par, but still with a couple of holes to play. That one right over the top of the flags to get 14. He's one of the best iron players in the Korean women's game. Lee So-mi is no slouch with these clubs in hand either, but she too hasn't had the best of starts to this championship like Park Ji-young. 2 over the card. That one could have done with a club more. Just been stuck in neutral today, the pair of So-mi and Ji-young. Kim Min-byul, the rookie in this group, going along the best of the three. She's hit some fine iron shots, just really hasn't read these greens very well. Understandable, of course, her first competitive trip around this Robert Trent Jones Jr. designed layout. Seems to be lacking a little spark in this 3-ball. Jump up to 15, and Lee Jong-min, excellent second shot into the correct segment of this slopey green. She's got this for birdie to get her to 2 under par. Gonna go pretty hard right in the last 3 feet. She's got to hit this with enough speed. Oh, too much speed, unfortunately, and that's the tricky thing about 15. There's just so much slope in this green. Very rarely leave yourself a dead straight putt, so she'll have to settle for a 4. Hong Ji-won into the last. Today on that right section, so the water really doesn't come into play. You are coming slightly downhill to a rather receptive surface. Said the water wasn't going to come into play. It is if you hit a stinker like that. That is an awful shot into the final hole, and she was going along so well today. There's a bit of rough there. Let's hope that ball's tangled up. If not, it could be a rather poor way to end what was otherwise an excellent opening round. Now So-mi back at 14, up and over this little tier. He seems to have struggled with the pace since the rain fell. It just came on there. Hasn't gotten one putt to the hole, not that I can remember anyway. Yeah, Choi Yun-woo, bit of a slopey hanging lie into 15. You really want to be in that correct segment of the green. You play steeply uphill. So you come up short right here. It's not a bad miss. That's fine. Collar of rough going to make it a little bit awkward, but shouldn't be too much of a problem for Choi as we go back to Min-byul's putt from just pin high left here on 14.
Oh.
Jin-hee, also from that hanging line. It's the same club in hand. It's going to find the right-hand side trap, and that's going to be a little bit fiddly for Im Jin Hee. Everything slopes away from her once she gets on the green. Ji Young for her birdie at the 14th. It's going to go a little bit right, coming up the hill slightly. Oh, and it just creeps in the right edge. That's what she wanted to see. A timely birdie for Park Ji Young. Number was 3 over through 3, and she has battled back very nicely. Fortunately for championship co-leader Hong Ji-won, a really poor second shot into this closing par 4. It looked a little dicey, like she was going to find the water, but the good news is that ball stayed dry. Just held up in some of that rough, so it could play a little low scuttling chip and run. And she has made a very good fist of that. Some very nice touch. So of that to sit level with Hong Jung-min in the clubhouse after day 1. Somi, little tester for par. Uh-oh. That is real unforced error for Lee So-mi. Middle of the fairway, walk off with a 5. She slips back to 3 over. Youngest ever winner of the Korean Women's Open is a certain Shin Ji-ai, going to become world number 1, multiple-time winner around the world. Applies her trade on the JLPGA Tour. She was 18 years old when she did that. Min Byul a year older than Ji-ai Shin was. Looking a little bit dark out there around Rainbow Hills again. Just past 6 p.m. in the evening here in South Korea. I'm not sure if this final featured group of the day is going to be able to complete their opening round on schedule. Of course, it always looks a little bit brighter on camera than what it is out there, but it's certainly looking just a little bit twilighty, call it that. Jump to this elevated 14th green off a slight uphill line. Got to throw it past that false front. It's going to roll back like Lee So-mi's. Unfortunately, that's exactly where Lee So-mi's second shot ended up. Hopefully she judges that putt a little bit better than her good friend. The news just gets worse for Im Jin Hee. That ball's rolled onto a downhill lie. Steep face of this bunker, landing on a downslope. Got to play this with a lot of speed, trying to release that right hand under the ball and hope this one grabs on its second bounce. Not an easy shot at all. But she made it look very simple. Excellent recovery from Im Jin Hee. Stay up. No, that one was off that false front as well. Just finishes in the front fringe. Minji has to go. She's seen her 2 playing partners come up a little short. Be surprised if she ends up short here. Much better, and that is more like the Minji we've expected to see. Superb iron shot and a chance to get to 3 under par. Of course, you can't see it Back down in the fairway. This 14th green sits quite a bit above the level of the players, as does the 15th coming up next. She will be delighted when she gets up to the green. Very much in birdie range is Park Min-ji. Now, Hong Ji-won with this left to right slider for a par. Around a 66 and a share of the clubhouse target. Oh, well done, Hong Ji-won. There's a bit of heart in mouth with that second shot coming into the last, headed towards trouble, but she escapes with a par. And she will scribble her name next to a 66 to leave her level with Hong Jung-min at the top of the Korea Women's Open leaderboard. Fantastic afternoon of work. Choi Yeon-woo. You've got to cock the wrist quickly here, drop it. Drop the club steeply onto the back of the ball and pop it up in the air. Not bad. No gimme yet. I've seen how slow this putt is from Lee So-mi in the group ahead. We'll see if Hee-jung's figured that one out. Gave that one a bit of a thump. Yeah, a little bit better pace than So-mi's. Jae-hee. Let's look at her today. 2 under par and well, short-sided here on 17. Played up and down there. We'll keep Jae-hee at 2 under. Slightly different angle to Hee-jung, but still with that same ridge to contend with. Going to be slow. That's okay. Just cozy it up and take your stress-free fall. After a wonderful second shot, she has set herself up with a look to get inside the top 10. A brilliant birdie for Park Min-ji. Takes her a step closer to the top of the leaderboard, and you'd have to think, if not for that awful start, she could be leading this championship already, and we're only sort of 3/4 of the way through day one. No mistakes for Hee-jung, who remains 1 under the card. May be dwindling around Rainbow Hills, but a pair of Hongs sit atop the leaderboard. Ji-won and Jung-min share the top spot after matching 66s on day 1 of the Korea Women's Open. You're watching live day one action from Rainbow Hills Country Club. The second major championship of the season is upon us. We're at the Korea Women's Open, and unfortunately for Lee So-mi, it really hasn't been the opening round she was hoping for. She's back at 3 over par, second shot now to the demanding but short 15th. Gets a fortuitous kick, and that is pretty good. It's probably one of the straighter putts you can leave yourself to this front right pin on this 306-meter par 4. Kim Min-byul would love to follow her in there. A couple of ways to get close to this right hole location. You could throw it up a little bit long left. Of course, the risk with that is that it takes a kick to the left, and now you have a tricky putt. So anything a bit short and right is fine, although this one's turning towards the middle of the green and just clears the bunker. And that is going to be anything but a straightforward up and down for Kim Min-byul, who's currently even par. Yeah. Downhill 16th and Bae So-hyun. Reachable in 2 this par 5, but So-hyun had to lay up with her second, and she's playing a third from a pretty long way back. It's going to be a bit of an awkward stance left for the fourth shot. Still traditionally playing as one of the 3 easiest holes every time we return to Rainbow Hills, but Bae So-hyun is struggling for a par here. Yeah, Jung Yoon-ji, imagine this would be her second shot. Picked up a little bit of distance in the off-season, reach in 2. At 4 under par. 12 holes, and hasn't picked up a birdie since, although things could change rather quickly. That's a stunning hybrid from Jung Yoon-ji, and that's an eagle putt, which would tie the lead at 6 under. And Park Ji-young through the green here on 15. Delicate little chip down the hill. Should start working its way back to the right, and hello. Oh! The unlikeliest of threes for Park Ji-young. And that is back-to-back birdies, and it's got someone in the crowd delighted. Why wouldn't you be? Park Ji-young back to even par.
여기까지 오면은 내려오면 딱 여기까지 와.
Kim Jae-hee into this brilliant finishing hole. Rainbow Hills. Tee shot safely down the left. Got in trouble, saying the water wasn't going to come into play with the second shot. It's a very prominent feature on the left side of this 18th hole. The pin cut on the right. I feel it really would take a very poor shot to be anywhere near the penalty area. Should come round off that slope, feed down a little bit closer to the hole. Not too bad. She'll have that for a round in the 60s, Kim Jae-hee. Now Min-byul. Got to get the club face open here. Trying to pop this one up high and soft. Still needs to land this in the fringe. Carry that onto the downslope. It's just going to chase away a little bit. All things considered, not too bad. She's going to have some work to do for par. So-hyun. An awkward one this. That ball's sitting up a little bit, some of this tufty rough, and it's well above the level of her feet. She's playing to an elevated section of the green. Really important to accelerate here and rotate your chest through it lest you go straight under it. And she is really making things difficult for herself on this scoreable par 5, Bae So-hyun. So-mi after that very nice second shot into 15. This is a much needed birdie. And she'll have it. birdies from Park Ji-young and Lee So-mi at 15. Ga-young has dropped a couple shots since we last saw her. About 2 over par. That's a very nicely played shot into the 18th. And she's got that for a round of 73. They'll have the morning wave tomorrow. Usually plays about a shot and a half easier than the afternoon. And there hasn't been too much breeze so far this week at Rainbow Hills. Recipe for low scoring and plenty of birdies. But this is a par look for Min Byul. She'll get that one to drop. Good up and down from Kim Min Byul. Keeps her level. Jung Yoon-ji for an eagle and a share of the lead. It's not going to stay up, is it? It'll be the simplest of birdie fours for Jung Yoon-ji. No drop shots today. She's only one back with 2 to play. I'm pretty reading that scorecard. Time to catch up with your final featured group's progress up this 305-meter 450. Plays a lot longer than that. You see players coming in with mid to long irons sometimes. That is why you play at this severely elevated green. It's going to be Daeon first to go. Again, just slightly heavy contact, and well, that's going to be a long bunker shot for Lee Daeon. Perhaps a little cause for concern there. That's the second iron shot. She's hit a little bit clunky as we got to Bae So-hyun's par putt, a hole ahead. Ooh, just a little too much pace, and she's going to drop a shot. The easiest hole at the golf course. That is never a nice feeling. It's back to 2 under. Jung. Pull him in these uphill lines, trying to get your weight a bit more into your lead foot. Easy to hang back and sort of flip at these. Should kick forward and take that slope. Yeah, well played from the defending champion. Just out of the right rough, can just about see the top third of the balls. This one could come out a little bit hot in the back of her mind. Don't want to go over the back of this green. That's sensible there. Yeah, much easier up and down from short and long on this 15. As the shadows continue to lengthen late in the afternoon in this opening round in Yongsan County. What pivotal role will this short par 4 play in the story of this year's Korean Women's Open Championship? Shortest par 4 on the card, but certainly has its fangs. Up to 17, and Bae So-hyun's tee shot. Need another club, you feel? KGA. Downhill left to right slider. and a par round of 69. It's going to fall off a little low still. 2 under par 70. Very solid start to the week. Kim Jae-hee. Which will start Friday just inside the top 20. Camera angle to show you what Lee Daeon has to work with here. A lot of sand to cover to this elevated green. Oh, she's knifed that one. Well, she is seriously compounding the error and in danger of undoing all her hard work over the last couple of holes. Minji. Slight uphill lie, so it'll help get the ball up a bit quicker into the air. I'm going to carry this about 6 feet on, just let it scoot out the rest of the way. The brakes a little bit early for Park. Come on, Gaia. Let's give your rather vocal fans something to cheer about. This for a birdie. The last. Ooh, just needed a little bit more pace. So a bit of a frustrating trek around Rainbow Hills for Lee Ga-young. Just the lone birdie of her day coming back at 11. Fourth shot now for Lee Daeon. You see she and her caddy walking all the way up to the hole, trying to decipher the many little subtle breaks that this chip shot will have to negotiate en route to the cup. I think that she lands it right about where she's standing. It's going to be working downhill all the way. Doesn't have to worry about that. This will get there. The problem for Daeon is there are two distinct slopes that will sort of feed down to this front right hole location. The question is, does she play it up the left where the slope's a little bit steeper and more pronounced, therefore it's going to be carrying more pace as it comes down to that level, or does she go out a little bit right and the slope isn't so severe, and sort of try to nestle this within 5-6 feet and take her chances with a putter? It looks like she's going out a little bit right, which would be the percentage play. Yeah, not too bad at all. Just sneaks outside the marker of Park Min-ji. Just one or two errors we haven't been used to seeing from Lee Daeon here on Thursday. Now Bae-so Hyun, pretty straightforward little chip shot from the front of 17 after coming up short.
나이스! 아우! 나이스!
Good touch. That should be 17-3 to keep Bae So Hyun at 2 under. Lim Hee Jung just starting to come alive a little bit on this back nine. Just to get to 2 under. She's going to move a little left on her. She can attack coming up the hill. Oh, and that is frustration personified. Short in the jaws for Lim Hee Jung. Only a par. Jung Yun-ji. We're in the back section of this 17th green. Long, gradual left to right breaker for Yun-ji. She hit it. As she hit it, that is badly undercooked for Jung Yun-ji. Well, hasn't dropped a shot yet today. She's going to have a good 8-10 feet to keep things that way. Dion with this putt to drop just the one shot at 15. Okay, it's an adventurous bogey 5 that'll slip Lee Dion back into a share of 53rd.
자신 있게 쳐줘.
Well, Park Min-ji has just seen how to do this about 20 seconds ago from Dion. She is on form. She is feeling good. These are pretty much gimmies for Park. No mistakes. Now head to the easiest hole on the golf course. You feel she'll pick up at least one shot. Again, just 6:30 in the evening here in South Korea. And it's touch and go whether they're going to be able to complete their opening rounds this morning. Still 3 holes to play. Jung Yun-ji with a lot of work to do to save par here at 17. Pays the price for a misjudged tee shot. 3-putt bogey. Jung Yun-ji will slide back to 4 under par. First bogey of this opening round for Jung. Back on the 16th. Big tee shot, ran through the fairway, so only coming in with a long iron now for a second. A long iron and a slightly flatter ball flight. Land this in the front of the green, it should chase up. That was a little bit wide right for Im Jin-hee. Avoids the water and the bunker. Just in between clubs. Out of that a little bit. Up to 17, and Lee Jung-min with her tee shot. Tricky thing about 17 is that green's slightly elevated. Even though you're coming in with short irons, in the case of Lee Jung-min, if you just sort of get a little steep on it and cover the ball too much, de-lofting the club, you could end up where Jung Yun-ji was at the back of the green and leave yourself a rather testy 2-putt. Tried to skip up, it's not going to. That's fine. Jung-min. No harm done. See the tee box for 16 all the way in the top right of your screens. Downhill par 5, the dog legs round, bigger hitters can reach in 2. And if you do find the rough off the tee, the layup's not too tricky. Cho Yun-woo playing this one the conventional way and backing herself to try and stick a lob wedge in close. With these soft greens, you really want to make sure you cover the full yardage coming to this slight uphill green from where Eun-woo is. Should get it to stop fairly quickly. Just creeps it over the ridge. Got away with that a little bit. You just feel that leading edge was digging in a fraction. And she'll give herself a birdie look. To this 18th tee and Bae So-hyun. How much of the right half of this hole do you want to take on? More up the left half of the fairway, asking for that one to sit. And it's just about going to hang on. First cut of rough's not bad for So-hyun. This 18th tee really forces you to have to step up and hit the shot if you are going to hit driver. You challenge the right edge of this par 4 fairway and take on the trouble on the right, because if you turn driver over, those are definitely in play. Unfortunately, Chung Si-woo's dropped 3 shots since we last saw her, making back-to-back birdies, so she's back at 7 over now. Like it off the club face, but it's going to get a very friendly kick and catches the fast track down to what is now a very good spot on the right half of the fairway. Yunji, with her length, definitely has to take it up the right hand side with this club. Transition at the top of the swing. That is absolutely perfect for Jung Yoon-ji on this finishing par 4. Playing on the green. 72. To be, dreams of a fairy tale ending to Sunday. Last week at the Celtron Queen's Masters, had a share of the lead with Park Min-ji going into the final round, led by 2 early doors, but just couldn't get the job done. Still winless, 266 starts on the KGA Tour. Yeah, Jimmy, got some options here. Do you want to try and play a low little chaser, landing it on the short side of the ridge, or do you want to try to open up the club face a little bit, toss it up, land it on the top deck with a little bit of check? So much depends on the lie for Im Jin-hee, but you feel it might be option B. Not bad, a little bit tentative, but still very good look at birdie there for Im Jin-hee. 32-year-old Park Ju-young. Took almost a year off the game. Gave birth to her first child last year. She's enjoyed a good return to the KLPGA Tour. Bit of a rough start to the back nine, but a 73 for Park. Choi Eun-woo, remember, laid up with her second. But a good little wedge to here. As this to, again, to a share of third with Lee Won. This putt should want to move a little bit right on her. And again, later in the day, the greens do slow up a little bit. So we'll have to hit this with a fraction more pace than she would if this was, say, first thing in the morning. Oh, unlucky. Good stroke, good roll, but no birdie 4 for Choi Eun-woo, who'll stay 2 back. 5-way tie for 4th right now at 4 under par. Only Choi Eun-woo and Jung Yoon-ji still out on the golf course who could improve on those totals. So here, it's down the left side of the 18th, and that ball's sitting down just a smidge in the first cut of rough, so it should come out a bit like a knuckleball and have some release on it once it hits the green. Leaks that one out to the right green side trap. That's short-sided now for So Hyun. Slight uphill line, but slightly above her feet, so she can start this at the right edge of the green, just let it turn over naturally. Just pulls it a fraction, but no problems there for Jung Yoon-ji. Great control of her golf ball and her golf game over the last 2.5 weeks. She can parlay that into a breakthrough major championship. It's a stacked quality field that has assembled this week at Rainbow Hills. 132 of the best in the Korean women's game. This lady, certainly one of them, Im Jin-hee. Should just be a left edge putt for Jin-hee to get to 3 under par and move herself back inside the top 10. Done throughout all her career, very much locked elbows over the putter with that right index finger running down the shaft. So many different putting styles in the game of golf now, and as long as they work, they're all right.
Nice birdie!
Very nice birdie indeed for Im Jin-hee. Recovers nicely from that drop shot at 13. Gets herself back inside the top 10 in a share of 9th. What of the 3 ladies in the featured group? Good tee shots well down the fairway, well in the go zone.
Nice birdie!
Park Ji-young is just going to be laying up from back at the top of the hill. So Hyun, firm sand, landing on the downslope. You want just land this on the fringe of the green, maybe even in the fringe. The slope will do the rest of the work. shot. Can't afford to miss it in that right-hand bunker. You've just got no shot from there. He's giving himself a chance, though, to save par. Lisa Mee feels she's going to have a crack in two at 16. Just coming up short, but no problems there. Big tee shot from Kim Min Byul. It looks to be just a 4-iron left for Kim. And takes a very nice kick off the uphill slope, and she's just about going to creep onto the top level of this two-tiered green. So an eagle putt awaits Kim Min Byul at the par 5 16th. Jung Yun Ji to end her round in style. Move a little to her right at the end. She's coming back up the hill slightly as well, so can attack. Good putt, great effort. And all in all, save for that bogey on 17. It's been a very solid opening round of golf for Jung Yun Ji. Runner-up in Cheong Na a fortnight ago. One shot out of a playoff last week at Seong Hill 1. She'll open her campaign this week at the Korean Women's Open with a round of 68. 17T and Choi Eun-woo. A couple of players hit 8-9 and come up short here on 17. But not Choi Eun-woo. That is bang on perfect. Got the bounce she was looking for. She's nestled that up to about 6 feet for birdie. Now back to 15 in Park Ji-young's third. That one's a little bit wayward from Park. Not used to seeing that from her. So you're one of many players these days who uses aim point to work out the break of these greens. Aim point very much a concept where you feel the gradient of the slope using your feet. I.e., if you're standing at the midway point of your putt and your right foot feels a little bit lower than your left foot, the putt should break from left to right, with the left side that section of the putt being higher. Still, you can read a green as good as you want. You still got to get up and put a good stroke on it. So Hyun with this for par. And a 3 under par opening round. That's a really good save at the last. It's a round of 69 for Bae So-hyun. So-mi. I just want to fire this one into the bank and sort of have it skip up with the second or third bounce and creep over that rise. Oh dear, that kicked in the fringe. It's an awful break for Lee So-mi. You just see it just rocketed off that fringe. She's just noticed where it's hit. Unfortunately for Somi, it's just been one of those days. Park Ji-young. Just out of that secondary cut. Got to make sure you keep good acceleration through the impact zone here. Easy to have this ball puff out with no forward momentum at all. Yeah, very well played. She'll get away with a par at 16, will Park. 25 years of age, 5 KLPGA Tour titles to show for it, but never a big one. Much like her rookie class counterpart, Bang Shin-sil, Kim Min-byul, very tall, long limbs, long levers, generates a ton of clubhead speed, and like Bang Shin-sil, there's plenty of game and confidence to boot. And what these youngsters can do these days is, these par fives, they can really sort of flex their muscles, take advantage of that power, leave themselves eagle putts, and that's exactly what Min-byul's standing over right now in 16. Should be about a foot of break from left to right in this, and also coming slightly up the hill. That's a good aggressive stroke from Kim Min-byul, not to be a 3. Straightforward 4 upcoming. Junhee pin high on 17, but just off the right edge of the green, much like Park Ji-young's shot on the 16th. Got to be positive with this. Play it with some speed. Textbook stuff from Junhee. Simple up and down, and keep her inside the top 10. Somi, much longer birdie putt than she was expecting on 16. Disappointing par after less than 200 meters in for a second shot to this par 5. After that wonderful tee shot. He's going to make a birdie to convert into a share of 3rd with year 1. Much like Jung Yun-ji, it's been a very, very good afternoon for Choi Yeon-woo. Now, come on, Min-byul, I've pretty much given you this for birdie already. Don't let me down. Just on the right edge with a good positive stroke. Putts of this length, so often the tendency is to want to peek at it in anticipation. Got to keep that head down, keep it stable, rock the big muscles.
Nice body.
Well done. Brush that one in for a par to stay even. been a brilliant opening round of golf here at Rainbow Hill. So why don't we look back fondly on some of the many brilliant shots that were played here on Thursday. Shinsil had it going early. Winner of this year's E1 Charity Ladies Open, leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. Playing a nice shot there into 12. How about the effort of Min Sol Kim, the leading Korean amateur coming into this week from long range at 13. Brilliant birdie there. She would sign for a 4 under par round of 68. Good shots all around the golf course. And this one at the first, working it off that side bank beautifully, setting up a great birdie look for Song Ka-eun, the 2021 Rookie of the Year. Turned in 2 under par. That got her to 3 under. Bang Shin-sil, well, she would keep it rolling. This was to get to 4 under par through 8 holes. 3 under par, excuse me. She would turn in 31. And Lee So-young, multiple-time winner on the KLPGA Tour, albeit only in even-numbered years, looking to break that duck this week. She's found some good form over the last 12 months. It's a delightful birdie at the second, which took her to 3 under par for the day. Hong Jung-min, she led the way in the morning wave. That a brilliant birdie. Hong Jung-min at the 6, taking her to 5 under par for her round at that point. She would continue the birdie barrage. Third shot into this point on the par 5 7th, and a simple conversion for birdie. Jung-min having the low round of the morning, a 6 under par 66. Lee won, bested in a playoff by Park Min-ji last week at the Celtrion Queen's Masters. Miss a beat. 1 over par on her outward half. Birdies at 1, 2, 4. That one at 7 and that one at 8. En route to a round of 67. Bang Shin-sil would have some problems on her way home. Couple of bogeys at 1 and 3. Birdies at 4 and 5, but a tee ball wide left on the par 5 7th. The hole where you feel she would have been picking off a birdie. She would ultimately go on to make a double bogey 7. Shades of what happened at Suwon Country Club on the penultimate hole of the NH Ladies Championship. A wide tee shot left, a double bogey, and Shin-sil would still settle for a 69. Jung Yoon-ji has been playing some stellar golf as of late. She continued that fine form in the opening round of the Korea Women's Open. That sparkling tee shot into the par 3 7th, and a birdie that would take her to 2 under par, an outward half of 34. Last year's E1 Charity Ladies Open champion. At the 9th, Choi Eun-woo found the greenside bunker with her second shot, but will produce a little bit of magic to head to the turn in style. Continue the fine form on the back 9. Birdie at 10, and this at 11 took her to 4 under par, within 2 of Hong Jung-min's 6 under par target. The par 4 18th, well, Hong Ji-won had heart in mouth with her second shot, flirting with the penalty area. The ball remained safe. She she would get up and down to match Hung Jung-min's 66 with one of her own. Last year's Hanwha Classic champion, seeking a second major championship title. But this is the lady whose name they're all paying attention to, moving up the leaderboard. Park Min-ji was 2 over through 4, but birdies at 6, 7, 9, 11, and that at 14 got it a 3 under par and inside the top 10. Choi Yun-woo hit a sparkling tee shot into the 17th and only had this left for birdie to move alongside Lee Ye-won at 5 under in a share of third. So as we wrap things up here in the opening round of the Korea Women's Open, that is what your leaderboard looks like. Hung Ji-won and Hung Jung-min share honors at the top with matching 66ers. Ye-won and Eun-woo just a shot further back. That's just about it for opening round coverage here at Rainbow Hills. We do hope you'll join us tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sensational golf from this, the second major championship of the season. Until then, this is Timothy Lowe saying bye-bye for now.